Hey, my name is Manny Gage. I'm from Georgia, South Georgia, originally from Ohio. And what originally captivated me about driving was back when I was 15 in a little small town in Ohio we were at in Youngstown. Getting your driver's license was the biggest thing, because then you could just go cruise this State Route 224 and hang out with your friends and pick them up. And it was a sense of freedom that you had, that before that you were always relying on mom and dad to take you to your friend's house and drop you off. So driving was almost entering adulthood, becoming an adult, having more responsibility, and having really freedom to be able to do what you wanted to do and hang out with your friends was really the big thing. When I started looking at getting an old vintage convertible or truck, I looked at all like your usual trucks that you might consider, Broncos, FJs, and everything, and came across Scouts, and I loved how they looked. They were original SUV. My wife loved how the 800s looked, and that was my original foray into Scouts. And I had that for about a year, and I was leasing this other, a nicer car that, was boring to drive. Even though it was like really nice and sporty, but you drive it and you just kind of like fall asleep. So I kind of convinced myself that it was a good idea to have New Legend swap a Scout 2 for me and make that my daily driver. And that kind of evolved over time into the rig I've got now. I love just how it connects you to the road. So when you're driving, you've got to be paying attention now. Like, you can't be on your phone. You can't just like zone off in terms of what you're doing. So you feel connected to what you're actually doing, which a lot of the time you can just be on autopilot and not pay attention to things. So this has really brought in more than just the driving adventure of like actually being on the road, but the friends and the people that we've met. Like, this is our second meetup that we've done, and I've met and hung out with a bunch of people and been places that I otherwise wouldn't have been. And we all share the same love of, vintage 4x4s, Scouts especially, and all the things that come with it, which is like breaking down on the side of the road and having to stop and get things fixed. Someone else running to Napa in the middle of a trip to get you stuff, and then camping out at a brewery like we're at tonight. There's a ton of vehicles. Even if you look at, like, people will talk about other type of vehicles, Raptors, Broncos, anything else, but you see a ton of them. Scout's completely different to me. It's very unique. It stands out. A lot of people don't even know what it is. And then you explain to them like the history of it, and it's not a company that's still around, but it's an American-made company. You've got people that have put their whole lives into it, especially now in restoring them. So it's kind of come in and brought in a second life, and that's what really attracted me to Scout, and that's what makes it kind of unique in the 4x4 world. I drive because I enjoy the drive. It's not about the destination, about where I'm going. It's about who I'm with on the drive. It's about the stops we do along the way. It's about getting there. We can get there in 2 hours, we can get there in 11 hours, but it's really the adventures along the way. No one's gonna remember that, hey, I took a regular drive and it took me an hour to get there and nothing happened. But you're always gonna talk about like the mishaps that happened, the stops you weren't expecting to make. Those are the memories that you make.